Okay, thank you very much for coming today, guys. I'm really pleased to be able to announce today the selection panel for our senior coaching position. It's taken us a little while to put this together, but we're really very pleased with how it looks. On the panel will be Peter Schwab, who's the current Director of Coaching for the AFL, Tom Harley, who everyone knows and is highly respected. From the Port Adelaide Football Club, Kevin Osborne, who is the head of our Football Strategic Committee, will be on the committee as well with myself, Peter Rode, who is our General Manager of Football, and Bruce Abernethy, who is our Director of Football, and David Parkin, who again is a legendary figure in the game, is to act as an advisor to the panel throughout the process. And to quote him last night, his job is to put the burner under the panel to make sure they cover all angles, and we're looking forward to his involvement. So the panel is in place. We start this week. We're already into the discussions in regards to the criteria. The hit list will start to formulate. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I think Harley and Parkin add to this selection process?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Tom Harley, I really wanted someone who was connected to the modern game. I love his communication skills and his understanding of the importance of really clear, concise, contemporary communication, and his management skills. Parkin is simply one of the leading football people in Australia, and his coaching records stands up on its own.
How does Parkin's role differ to the rest of the panel? Is it just he puts in less time?
Yeah, so he won't actually be on the panel that makes the recommendation to the board. He would consider that to be a conflict of interest because he is actually has a role as president of the Coaches Association. But what he will do is he will ensure that the panel is covering all bases, and for me, he's very valuable. I'll be tapping on his shoulder every other day, I'd reckon.
How often is the panel likely to meet?
We will meet. Not physically together, but we will come together regularly in the next 2 weeks as we discuss the criteria and how we're going to go through the process and what we're looking for. We will meet formally as an interview panel. That will occur at some stage in mid-September, early to mid-September, and the number of times we meet at the back end will be determined by how the process is travelling along.
Keith, in your field so far, where's the argument that you really do need an experienced coach that you can't go with a novice again?
It's a compelling argument, given our most recent experience. I watched firsthand the difficulties that any senior coach has, the scope of the role, and Matty, in the end, found it. It's a very difficult position, and it would need to be an outstanding candidate to be able to handle a role like that. I think experience is important, not necessarily essential. We've got a great example across the road with Brenton Sanderson and the Scott boys have walked in and made a go of it, but. Experience brings you some comfort if it's available, and I think this is going to be the telling point through the process. It's going to be about who puts a hand up.
Do you already have some senior coaches putting their hands forward with experience?
I'm already in discussions with people who are feeling us out. There's no one that's actually put their hand up at this point.
Are they measuring you more than you measuring them?
I think there's a bit of that. I think there's a bit of both, to be honest. And I think that people, any prospective candidate, will want to know what they're walking into, and we're very open about that, and we see great upside and opportunity, and thankfully I think most people are agreeing with that. Yeah, yes. We'll sit. Whoever we can get in the room, we'll sit them together, or we'll just hook up. And I suspect what will happen is that we'll be breaking up. We're doing little, small groups will be on tasks, and one of the advantages of having guys interstate is that they are closer to the bigger market. There are more assistant coaches and coaches in Melbourne than anywhere else, and so having a couple of guys on the ground there is very handy.
Are you open-minded for a coach who wants to bring in a whole coaching panel with them?
I'm not totally open-minded about that. I actually have been really pleased with the progress of the group that we brought in at the start of last year. I think they're developing really nicely, and I don't subscribe to the fact that the incoming coach should dictate what you're doing with the entire structure. We'll have a discussion about it, but no.
Is the club interested or in the financial position to be able to go after Darren Burgess again?
Well, that's a really interesting. I'm glad you brought that up, because I can categorically say we are not in a bidding war for Darren Burgess or anyone else for that matter. That's not how we do business. We look for people who are passionate about working for Port Adelaide and helping us to build this great club. Having said that, I've been talking to Darren Burgess practically all year. He was a mate of Matty Primus's, and we became aware that he and his wife were thinking about the possibility of coming back to Adelaide. In my mind, I was thinking that's 2014 or something like that, and that's where our conversation has been. All of the stuff today is, to me, it's speculation. I don't know, but we are categorically not in any bidding war for Darren, and if those numbers being bandied around are anywhere near true, nor should we.